If you need a break from Path of Exile 2, Last Epoch might just have the huge update you've been waiting for. Also, this week, 2 promising new co-op shooters were announced. Dark Souls 3 gets seamless co-op, and did Pokemon just tease something that feels a lot like Pokemon Stadium? As usual, we are here to bring you up to speed with all things co-op gaming, so let's get into this week's episode. The first trailer for Last Epoch's Season 2 update has been released, giving players a detailed look at the upcoming content and improvements. One of the most significant additions is the new faction, the Woven, which will introduce deeper customization, loot options and more. New zones will provide additional endgame content, while updates to the Monolith of Fate bring new bosses and Woven echoes, which could introduce fresh gameplay dynamics. The Sentinel class is receiving a rework, while the Rogue class is getting a new skill. Combat will also see changes with the introduction of challenging champion bosses and enemy affixes, making encounters more dynamic and difficult. Crafting is being expanded with new materials, items and uniques alongside the addition of endgame set item crafting, allowing players to further refine their builds. On the quality of life side, players can expect improvements such as inventory tabs, a dungeon key charm, and, most notably, the long-awaited WASD movement support, giving an alternative to traditional click-to-move controls. With these updates, Season 2 looks to enhance both the core gameplay and accessibility, offering something for both new and veteran players alike. Now to the big new co-op announcements of this week. The first one is a story-driven FPS from the devs of the Metro games, called La Chimera. It's set in the year 2064 in a dystopian future in Latin America. You play as a mercenary working for one of the private military companies hired to handle political and corporate conflicts in a fragmented civilization. The trailer gives off some real Halo vibes, with exoskeletons and a giant arsenal of futuristic weapons. It will support co-op for up to 3 players. So far, it's only been announced for PC on Steam, and there's no release date yet. The second big announcement of this week is Terminal Brigade. It's a hero shooter blended with action roguelike combat and built in Unreal Engine. The game combines the speed of shooters with the replayability of roguelikes. There's a big roster of avatars, called Rogueteers, and each one has a unique role that contributes to the team. As you probably guessed, it features online co-op. The exact group size isn't confirmed, but based on the trailer, we'd guess 1 to 3 players. And the best part? It's scheduled for release in 2025 for PC. And there's an alpha playtest you can sign up for right now on their Steam page. I will put the link in a pinned comment below. If you're patiently or impatiently waiting for Elden Ring Night Rain and have always wanted to play Dark Souls 3 with friends, this next one is for you. Modder Yui has released a seamless co-op mod on Nexus Mods. It's still in its alpha state, so you might run into bugs or crashes, but in theory, if all goes well, you can play with up to 5 others in one open world. With synchronized NPC dialogue, sessions that don't end on player death, and removed fog walls. To prevent the game from becoming too easy, you can adjust enemy health scaling. If you want to check it out, there's a full FAQ and installation guide on Nexus Mods. This week's Pokemon Presents had some exciting reveals. As longtime Pokemon fans, we were really looking forward to seeing more of Pokemon Legends CA. Every time a new game is announced, we keep hoping for co-op or multiplayer features. But once again, we were disappointed. That said, Legends CA is looking great, with a revamped dynamic battle system that lets you dodge attacks. It's set to release by the end of the year, and honestly, this one I'd be happy to just watch someone else play. But backseat gaming won't be necessary for long, because they also announced a new IP called Pokemon Champions. This looks like a revival of Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. with a focus on arena battles between players. No release date yet, but it's coming to Switch and mobile. And in terms of multiplayer Pokemon games, strategic team battle game Unite is adding new Pokemon each month. Suicune, Alolan Raichu, and Alcremie. Plus, Remote Stadium is coming back to Ranked, and a new mode called First to 500 is on its way. There were plenty of other announcements for Pokemon, including the upcoming stop-motion animation series coming to Netflix this September. Until March 9th, you can watch the first episodes on the official YouTube channel. But that's enough Pokemon. Let's jump into this week's news flash. Upcoming free-to-play shooter Splitgate 2 is holding a free playtest, with crossplay between Steam, PS5 and the Xboxes. We previewed this game in our upcoming 2025 games video. I will put the link in a pinned comment below. Trailmakers is getting a free expansion on March 6 called Pioneers, which takes players into space, co-op included for up to 8 players. Dauntless, the free-to-play monster hunting game, is shutting down on May 29 after a failed attempt to reimagine itself with the Awakening update last December. With mostly negative reviews and unsatisfied players, the studio has decided to pull the plug. Tekken 8 just announced its newest fighter, Anna Williams, the Scarlet Lightning. She's arriving with Season 2 by late March, early April. Upcoming Chinese-themed RPG The Bustling World may get multiplayer later in development. The game blends farming, building, crime, exploration, and raising an army. Plus, it looks like a charming hidden object world. Now onto the latest game releases. Aside from the games we already covered in our February releases video, including, of course, one of this year's most anticipated titles, Monster Hunter Wilds. Only one other new game came out. By the way, we're also working on a co-op review for Wilds, so if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. On February 21st, Long Winter launched on Steam. It's been called Animal Crossing meets Rust, and well, that says it all. It's all about camping in the wild with your friends, fishing, farming, cooking, and stealing from other players in an open-world sandbox. Don't be fooled by the cozy visuals. This one involves spawn camping, raids, and destroyed bases. Maybe that's why Steam reviews are mixed. But that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you again in the next one.